When you're a police officer, you never really know what kind of a day you're going to have. Officers Mercado and Tavera of the LAPD Hollywood Division were out on patrol one day in October 2019 when they suddenly realized that they were being chased. But this was no cause for panic, as it was actually a tiny little chocolate-colored pup who was in hot pursuit of them. The puppy had seemingly been abandoned and first gave chase on Hobart Boulevard. It was as if he sensed that the officers would be able to help them and was determined to follow them around until they decided to do something about it. It didn't take long for Mercado and Tavera to pay attention to the persistent pup. They decided that the best thing to do would be to scoop him up and take him to the station. Once he was safe, they decided to name him Hobart after the street they originally found him on. It was unusual for such a tiny puppy to be seen out on the streets by itself, so the officers first decided to check if there was a possibility that he might have escaped from someone's home. They needed to check whether there was an owner out there looking for him or whether he had simply been abandoned. Hobart became an instant fan of Officer Mercado, as did many of the commenters who saw the LAPD's Twitter post about the sweet gesture. People were curious to see who the puppy would end up with. And although LAPD initially took him to a rehoming shelter, it seemed that, much to everyone's delight, Officer Mercado had developed a soft spot for Hobart and decided to adopt him for himself. And that's not the end of the story. The shelter provided Hobart's and Officer Mercado's fans with a highly requested pup date, and you can already see just how much the sweet pup has grown. Update on Hobart. Giraffe named Fidzgit. He's the most loving and lively puppy. He loves all of his puppy cousins and will chew on his toys for hours. He's still learning potty training and loves the outdoors playtime in the grass, reported his dad. Just look at that happy little face and those giant ears. Hobart and his owner spend their days cuddling together, and it's clear that the pup will forever be grateful for the officer who saved him from a life on the streets. Being the dog of a police officer, many people suggested that Hobart could join the division's K-9 unit so that he could spend more time with his doting owner. But sadly, he's much too small for that kind of job. We're pretty sure he's perfectly happy with how things are right now, though.